totally spineless, lacking any creativity, any urgency. That was an absolutely embarrassing performance.
Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with an instant reaction after Aston Villa absolutely stumped the place out at the G-Tech Arena. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We are 40 or 50 away from the big 6,000 subscribers. That would put a smile on my face if you could hit that tonight. But what a terrible, terrible, terrible performance that was. I don't even want to go into too much about the team and how we set up and everything like that, because you can set up exactly how you want. You can put wide players on. You could set up as a 3-4-3, 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to set up at. But to not put the effort in, to not run, to not have any urgency, to not try and beat a man, to pass the responsibility, to pass the buck onto every single other player, apart from taking it on yourself, which is what every single Aston Villa player did on the pitch today. It doesn't matter what formation you play. It doesn't matter what players you play. It doesn't matter about PSR, SCR, FFP, whatever you want to call it. It comes down to effort and working hard. And that's what Brentford had in absolute spades today compared to us. We were an absolute embarrassment. Just completely shocking. Couldn't pass a ball 5 yards. Couldn't control a ball. Couldn't attempt to try and beat anyone. Couldn't really have any shots on target. Couldn't put any pressure on anyone in the box. Just absolute shocking performance. And Unai Emery saying calm on the sideline. We need urgency. We need players running at people. We need players putting tackles in, putting challenges in. What is going on? You can't be calm. We're not 2-0 up. We were 1-0 down and just saying, calm. When are you going to start putting some urgency? When are you going to make players start pressing? When are you going to start putting pressure on a Brentford team that have lost their manager, lost their coaching staff, lost multiple of their best players? And yet we made them look excellent. We made them look a good side. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to get out of second gear. Yet again, a team scores with their first shot on target. Ball goes through. Tyrone Mings doesn't go for the header. Pau Torres looks like he's running in treacle. Ouattara gets a second opportunity after a good save from Emi Martinez, but then no one pressuring, no one trying to put a tackle in, no one trying to put a clearance in, and then he puts the ball into an empty net. And from then, they could just sit back, rinse and repeat away performances from Aston Villa, all the possession, all the potential to have attacking intent, but absolutely none at all, just constantly passing it in front of the defenders, passing it to the wide men, or whatever wide men we had, passing it to the fullbacks, coming back from the fullbacks into our central defenders who would try and pass it into midfield. Inevitably, it would either be given away or one of those midfielders would have a touch like like their foot is a rocket and the ball would just bounce off them and into Brentford's possession. Ollie Watkins was a complete passenger all game. No service, but didn't make himself available for the ball. Didn't try and drop deep. Didn't try and run in behind. We didn't do one single pass through the defence at all, ever. Never tried anything like that. Never tried to beat a man. Never tried to operate with someone in pace to try and run at someone. It was just completely pedestrian and completely embarrassing. I want to get into a couple of the performances from some of the players. Pau Torres, oh my word. He's in the team for his quality on the ball. I didn't see him pass a single forward pass into an Aston Villa player. He was absolutely woeful, and he's meant to set the tone for our attack. Completely out of sorts. And then in defence, we know he's not the best in terms of pace, but some of the just put under pressure at even the tiniest bit of pressure, and he's folding like a deck of cards. He was so poor today. I mean, I'm going to do my player ratings at some point. I might need to think about it. I might need some time to think because at the moment they'll all be getting less than 10. Then we move into midfield. Amadou Onana. I've said it so many times. He's 6'5". He's big. He's powerful. He's strong. He's athletic. He can run with the ball. He can run without the ball. He can cover the ground. Yet he plays like a little mouse. Why? Where is this dominant central midfielder from Amadou Onana? He should be absolutely dominating that central midfield area. Yet it was Jordan Henderson who mentally had Aston Villa today, who was shutting down every pass, who was cheering every tackle. Where was Onana with this? Yes, he cheers the Villa fans when we win, when he doesn't play, but he doesn't do anything on the pitch. He doesn't G up his players on the pitch. You've got to start showing that you're a central midfielder who can dominate in the middle of the park and help us win the midfield battle. Because today, particularly in that first half, we were nowhere near in that midfield. Then we move to Morgan Rogers. Oh my word, what is wrong with this guy? He can't pass the ball 5 yards. Now, you might laugh at me, but I think he's playing within himself because he is waiting to see what happens in this window. He is waiting to see if a big move comes in for him, because I can't explain why he's not putting tackles in. I can't explain why he's not running. I can't explain why he's not trying to run past people, why he's just letting players tackle him. Is he playing because he doesn't want to get an injury? Because that was the worst I've ever seen Morgan Rogers play. And I know he can make bad passes. I know he can sometimes make the wrong decision, but you always know he's going to do something. He's going to pull a rabbit out the hat. But today, he was terrible. From minute 1 until minute 95, absolutely awful. John McGinn, he cannot play on that right-hand side. He's constantly trying to check back. And we had multiple left-footers on the pitch today. Obviously, Ezri Konsa being out had an impact, but McGinn's coming inside off that right-hand side. You've got Tyrone Mings, Pau Torres, Luca Dean, then Ian Matson coming on, all pushing across that left-hand side. We hardly had any play down that right-hand side. We hardly put a crossing off the right-hand side. We've got to sort this balance out of the team because we're too narrow, we're too predictable, we're too slow, and we can't get behind anyone. Yes, we made a couple of substitutions. Marlon came on, huffed and puffed. Gesson came on, did okay. Bogard did okay, tried to drive forward with the ball, but our team is looking bereft of confidence, bereft of ideas. Yes, Unai Emery is telling players to be calm and keep him within the system, but the system at the moment is too easy to play against. We need pace, we need power, we need these players to step up, because that is a worrying performance. Yes, Brentford had maybe 1 or 2 shots, but we needed to impose ourselves on the game. The longer that game went on, the less likely it looked that we were going to get anywhere near scoring a goal. I think Rodgers had an effort in the second half. I think McGinn had an effort in the first half that Kelleher was unsighted and managed to save. And I think Yuri Tillemans had a decent effort that was sort of deflected wide. But apart from that, we didn't create anything. Absolutely nothing at all. A couple of crosses that flashed across, and Watkins maybe could have got on the end of it. But where was the dynamism? Where was anyone trying to run in behind? Where was anyone trying to create something? I've said it before. Emi Buendia comes on. He's a busy fool. He runs around. He tries things. He tries to get on the ball. Then he gives it away and has a go at the person who's passing the ball. You're meant to be the one who's trying to create. He always tries to play the difficult pass when the easy pass is out to the right-hand side or to the left-hand side. Or a player, he takes way too long on the ball and the player just nips in and takes the ball off him. He's not good enough for this level. Is Marlon good enough for this level? Because Unai Emery doesn't seem to want to use him. McGinn out on that right-hand side is a complete waste of time. Kamara and Onana as the 2 defensive midfielders, not dominant enough and don't want to get on the ball. They don't want to get the ball off their central defenders. And that is causing a problem because teams are just pressing us. And then we are so open when we give the ball away in the transition, that people like to call it now. Basically, when we give the ball away, we're so open and we've got no pace to get back. Pau Torres, Tyrone Mings, Matty Cash, even Luca Dean. Whenever we've got a team that have pace, we are way too slow. And even though we had all the possession in that second half, every time Brentford managed to get the ball, they were the ones who looked more threatening. on the break. We looked just so slow, so bereft of ideas, just terrible, terrible performance. And I don't know how it's going to change at the moment. Yes, we might go 1-0 up and then we'll be able to settle into the game, but that's not going to happen away from home. That's not going to happen in a lot of games. We've got to take the game to the opposition, and we've got nothing to do that right now. I said at the pre-season, we had a solid pre-season in terms of being able to keep the players that we had, the core players, and Unai was able to train a settled squad. But the problems that I saw last season have not been addressed. We're too slow at playing the ball across the back. We're too easy to press and too easy to put pressure on. We're too open when we give the ball away, and we don't get behind any teams. We don't create any one-on-one against the goalkeeper situations. We don't play any through balls through. We have to get a striker or someone with pace who can play on the shoulder of the defence, stretch a team that then gives Morgan Rogers more space in those areas. Maybe even gives Emi Buendia space, gives Evan Gesson some space. But at the moment, we're too compact. We're too easy to play against. Just an absolute embarrassing performance. I can't even say anyone for the man of the match today. It was just terrible all round. Everyone was poor. Nobody took responsibility. And there's nothing left to say about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you worried about this season so far in terms of no goals scored in the first two games? Not really any chances created. We haven't made the keeper make a brilliant save at all in either game. So let me know your thoughts. I'll be back at 5:45. A bit of a different one. Lions Roar live reaction. Hopefully going to be joined by some guests on the show to talk about some of these performances. But get involved. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.